I tried. I gave it a genuine effort. Still genuine.
Most people know DMX as the raw voice of pain in hip-hop, the man who could bark on a track 1 minute and pray like a preacher the next. But what many fans don't realize is that the darkness in his music didn't come from fame, or the streets, or the rap game. It started years before the world even knew his name, when a teenager who was desperate for guidance trusted someone he thought was a mentor, only to be betrayed in a way that would change his life forever. Before the platinum albums, before Rough Riders, before the movies and the sold-out arenas, DMX was just Earl Simmons, a kid growing up in Yonkers, New York. His childhood was already filled with instability. He dealt with abuse at home, constant movement between group homes, and a deep feeling of abandonment that he later spoke about openly. Music became his escape early on. By his early teens, he was already building a reputation locally for his ability to beatbox and rap. People in the neighborhood saw his talent, but like many young artists in tough environments, he was also searching for something else: guidance, protection, and a sense of belonging. That's where the turning point happened. When Earl was around 14 years old, he met an older man he looked up to. According to DMX's own interviews in his autobiography, this person took him under his wing, showing him attention and encouragement that he had rarely experienced. DMX later described this man as someone he trusted deeply, someone he believed cared about his future. But one night, that trust would be shattered. DMX explained in multiple interviews, including his well-known conversation on Talib Kweli's podcast years later, that the man gave him a cigarette that had been laced with crack cocaine without telling him. DMX said he didn't know what it was at the time. He believed it was just marijuana. After smoking it, he later discovered what had actually happened. For him, this wasn't just about drug exposure. It was a psychological betrayal. He often described that moment as one of the most painful experiences of his life, not just because of the addiction that followed, but because someone he trusted intentionally deceived him. From that point forward, DMX would struggle with substance abuse for decades. He repeatedly explained that his addiction wasn't simply about the drug itself. It was tied to emotional trauma. In interviews, he said the hardest part wasn't quitting substances, it was processing the betrayal. That moment planted a deep sense of distrust in him that would shape his personality, his relationships, and ultimately his music. You can actually hear this trauma echoed throughout his songs. DMX's lyrics often revolve around themes of loyalty, betrayal, faith, pain, and inner conflict. Tracks like Slippin' and Damien show a constant battle between darkness and redemption. Many fans didn't realize that this emotional depth wasn't just artistic storytelling, and it came directly from real experiences he carried since his teenage years. When this story resurfaced publicly through interviews and social media clips, it shocked many fans. People online reacted with a mix of sadness and anger, especially after DMX spoke about it more openly in his later years. Clips of him discussing the betrayal circulated widely after his passing, with fans expressing how it changed their understanding of his music. Many said it explained why his pain always felt so raw and authentic compared to other rappers. Instead of being just aggressive or street-focused, his music sounded like someone fighting internal battles in real time. The story also sparked discussions about trauma in hip-hop. Fans and commentators pointed out how many artists come from environments where mentorship can sometimes be mixed with exploitation. DMX's experience became one of the most extreme examples of how early betrayal can shape an entire life path. Despite everything, DMX still rose to legendary status. In 1998 alone, he made history by releasing 2 albums that both debuted at #1, something no rapper had ever done before at that time. His authenticity became his greatest strength. Fans connected with him not because he portrayed a perfect image, but because he openly showed his struggles. His prayers on albums, his emotional interviews, and his vulnerability made him stand out in an era dominated by tough personas. At the same time, the trauma he carried also contributed to ongoing legal issues, rehabilitation cycles, and personal challenges throughout his career. Many observers believe that the betrayal he experienced at such a young age played a major role in the cycles he couldn't fully escape. Yet even through these struggles, DMX remained respected as one of the most emotionally honest voices hip-hop has ever seen. In the end, DMX's story isn't just about addiction or hardship, it's about trust, betrayal, resilience, and how a single moment in youth can echo throughout an entire lifetime. It helps explain why his music sounded less like performance and more like confession, like every track was part of an ongoing fight within himself. And when you think about it, it raises a powerful question. If that one betrayal had never happened when he was just a teenager looking for guidance, would DMX's life and maybe even his music have turned out completely different?